A matchup that exemplifies this era of expanded conferences. Once upon a time, you'd only see these two clash in the Rose Bowl. Well, John David Booty and Rashard Mendenhall aren't going to run out of that tunnel as these two square off to try to stake claim to their place in the conference hierarchy. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Fighting Illini, Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the USC Trojans, taking on the 22nd ranked team in the land, the Illinois Fighting Illini. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. And the Trojans will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. So Illinois' offense will have the football first. And guys, any discussion about this offense has to start and end with the guy behind center.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback, he gets the ball on every play. He's got to be the leader. He's got to be able to throw the football. So many times you see Jesse where they can run it as well, but he's the captain usually on most teams. It starts and ends with him.
Yeah, and David, the thing you love about this guy, too, is he's such a good distributor and facilitator with the football. He knows this offense like the back of his hand, and he's able to take advantage of all the different weapons they have surrounding him.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Give to the back. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42.
Love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Illinois now staring at a 3rd and short. They'll try to bully their way for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
The give to the left. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice game. Illinois experienced a resurgence under Brett Bielema a year ago. He's been at 3 different power programs, but this was his best season in more than a decade, guys.
Yeah, and it seems like Bielema's got a recipe to win, and it's usually ground and pound. But how about this offense with Luke Altmaier at quarterback last year? Through the air, they became good and proficient and started to change the identity of Illinois and had a great season and finished with a big bowl win against South Carolina.
So a big key then is Luke Altmaier and taking that next step this year, too, to really help out this offense, be more explosive and win games maybe some different ways, and not always have to rely on running the football and playing great defense.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. Throwing right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go with the ball.
He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you just look at the coverage. You look at down the field, taking away all the options, making sure you don't throw that ball downfield to get the first down. The only option, check it to the running back. Now I close that space. Nice job tackling.
They booted away. Excellent job on the punt. Bounces out of bounds at the 5, and they'll have 95 yards to go in front of them. The Trojans offense has the ball for the first time. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well together.
They needed that extra space as he bangs his way to the 14.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Trojans come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. He'll pull it on the read. That play just got wrecked. 3rd and 1, and they went backwards. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Trojans send out the punt unit. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. Take the return out of the equation in this rainy weather. Fair catch is signaled for and made. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive. Brings into the open. He's out of bounds, and they'll say he got it to the 45.
He didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
It'll be a draw. They'll get him on the ground, but not before Illinois picks up the first down.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. Right back to the well. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And there was no space, nowhere to go. That play went absolutely nowhere.
Sometimes you just need a dude to show up and make a play, and he did.
Sometimes you just need to block that dude, and they didn't.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's Altmaier. And he fires over the middle. It's incomplete. The Fighting Illini needs to get it to the county line for a first down. Motion from the back. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Pulls it in. It's Clement. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
On a big 3rd down, love the discipline by the defense there. You got everybody with their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the football, showing good speed on D. Nice tackle. Love the team defense.
Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And he will boom that punt out of bounds. No chance for a return. Let's see where the officials spot it. Wants to go up top on first down. Caught behind the line. It's Sanders. Makes the stop at the 32, but he picks up 10 on that play. Looking back to last year, the Trojans made a midseason quarterback change. You might expect that, trying to live up to what Caleb Williams was able to do, but Jaden Maiava certainly finished strong, Jesse.
Yeah, the UNLV transfer looked really, really good, especially at the end of the year. And you know with Lincoln Riley, one of the great QB whisperers in recent college football memory, if you're locked in and you're playing and you're seeing the field the way Lincoln Riley is seeing it and calling it, this offense is going to be unstoppable. If he does that, he is going to put up Heisman numbers.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air, it's Maiava. Throws to the tight end. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell it extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Fires to the right. And the third down pass is knocked away by the D.
We talked to the coaches coming into this one. They know field position was going to be a huge factor for them winning this one. They had a really nice punt earlier in this game. Great job getting down and covering it. Won't surprise me if they decide to play it safe again here on fourth.
The Trojans will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch is signaled and made, and they'll go to work from the 27-yard line. The Illinois offense returns to the field. They've sputtered a bit early, not being able to move the football, having to punt it away each of the first two times they had it. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Sends it back in motion. On third and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Great job by the defense dialing out some pressure on third down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
Illinois lining up to punt this one away. No fair catches here, looking for room. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. Looking to throw, it's Mayava. Caught in the backfield, it's Sanders. Stopped and forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone, and they are looking to get one in here.
Defense has their hands full with this one. I know he's not the biggest guy playing the running back position right now, but they know he's going to be catching it too, and they're going to have to bring this guy down in space. In the passing game, they better make sure they get a lot of hats to the football. They've got their hands full.
Looking to throw on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Lemon. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. Looking to fire. He's got it on the move. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense.
Man, he looks like he's in a rhythm on this drive, right? 3 for 3. He's going where he needs to go with the football. The defense doesn't have any answers for him. Find the offensive coordinator. I'm letting this guy keep chucking it down here close to the goal line.
And the Trojans trying to pay off the threat on first and goal. Quick pass on the jet motion. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, the offense just trying to go with a little touch pass this time, down close to the goal line, giving it to the receiver and hoping his speed is going to be able to outflank the defense, but nowhere to run. Nice stop on the defensive side of the ball.
Looking for just one more yard. It's second and goal. Marches ahead. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, USC. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
They get set for the point afters. We have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down.
How nice is it in an offense when you can generate explosive plays by running the football? You got to force feed this guy, man. He is an absolute game changer.
Illinois, after that big gainer, might want to see if that works again. They're going to ride this running back.
And that quarterback knew the counter run was going to work on that play because he counted the box defensively before the snap. He saw that he had an advantage in numbers and blockers getting a hat on a hat, so he knew that was a green light. As soon as he got the snap, off they go, and it's an explosive play.
The Fighting Illini with options here on 2nd and short. Wide receiver comes in motion. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Great running backs consistently make people miss, and he did a really good job of breaking one tackle, but he couldn't do it to the next, and to the next, and to the next. The offensive line going to have to do a lot better job giving him some more space so he can get out in the open field and make some plays for this offense.
Gets the back moving. Scanning the field, it's Altmaier. He's got him in the flat. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
That's perfectly fine. If I'm a defense, I'm going to give up some yards right there. Play deep, react to shallow. The running back catches the football. I come up. He gets a positive gain, but it doesn't matter because now I won 3rd down and forced him on 4th down.
Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. Nice job to make the fair catch at the 16. Make sure that ball didn't bounce into the coffin corner. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Grabbed behind the line. It's Sanders. Trying to hit him with a quick game on 1st down and nothing doing there.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He didn't that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Throws for the tight end. Makes the grab along the sidelines, and they get enough for the 1st down.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. They'll try to pop the draw. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And what a great job by the defense getting penetration quickly, forcing the running back to get outside to try to make that thing go wide, which that's what you want as a defense. When they run the draw, they want you to run upfield, and you run right up the middle. Good job by the defense getting some penetration to throw off the running back early.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking downfield, it's Mayabu. Gets it out fast. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's Lane. He gets the job done on 3rd down. They move the chains. It's at the 37.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Gives it to the back on the draw. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
They try to go draw, but there's just way too much penetration in the middle of the offensive line. The offense has a negative play.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The sure hands, it's Lemon. There he goes. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is.
And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. An 84-yard drive there, and they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. That's the end of the period, and USC has the lead. And they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. Back to throw, it's Altmaier. Gets it out quickly. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
3rd and 1, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
They'll give it to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Most offensive schemes are predicated on first down productivity. That will not go down as a productive first down play.
No, it will not, Reese. Give this defensive line credit because they were able to get penetration right off the snap and force a negative play.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. How about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
Offense breaks the huddle. It's third down. Now the play fake. Fires to the big fella. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
Man, wow, what a catch by the big fella. And when he's not open, he's open. So nice to have a big target that can make those type of catches. I imagine he'll keep throwing him the football.
Signals for the fair catch, and that's where they'll put it in play just outside the 20. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. He'll pull it down and run. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love this slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
The Trojans with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Hand off from the shotgun. Turning it on. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. And the legendary John McKay would be proud of the execution of the running game and picking up the first down.
Yeah, the basic principles of the run game, right? The easy stuff, the boring stuff, not fancy, not loved. Everybody likes points and all that other, stuff that goes with it, but you got to get the good running game. USC doing a good job early.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
And the Trojans trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Hands it off on the counter. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
It'll be 3rd and long. Looking downfield, it's Mayava. Pressure coming. With the catch, it's Lemon. He's brought down at the 44-yard line, and the defense making a play on 3rd down. The Trojans will try to pin them back with the punt. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. The Illinois offense returns to the field. Got it in the middle. It's Arkin.
Love the play call on the RPO. That time the defender bites on the run fake, and that opens up the window for the slant coming in behind it. Nice job.
Illinois can be aggressive here on 2nd and short. Running back searching for a hole. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
The Fighting Illini needing to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll move the tight end. Bully ball on 3rd and short. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a 3rd down stop.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
Illinois lining up to punt this one away. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. Not going to risk a return here. Calls for the fair catch and makes it just around the 30-yard line. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. They've had a really productive first half so far, and they'll try to add to it here. Fires to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit, and let's keep going.
That last completion sets him up on second down. They'll try it on the ground, running the counter. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. And the Trojans line up, trying to move the sticks on third and short. To the air, it's Mayava. And they'll miss the connection here on third down.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. Third down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
Punt is in the air on fourth down. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. The short hands, it's Dixon. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Wants to go up top. Grabbed in the middle, it's Clement. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. Luke Altmyer started his career as a backup to Matt Corral at Ole Miss, but man, did he blossom for the Fighting Illini. Had their best season in more than 20 years, and maybe more in store for him, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there were still a lot of fans that I think were skeptical when the transfer portal news came out that he was going to be joining Illinois. And people wanted to see what all the hype was about. You saw it last year, not just running the ball, but making big plays through the air. Really curious to see if Luke Altmyer can take the next step this season, because if they do, this is going to be a really, really tough team to beat.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Dropping back, it's Altmyer. Unloads to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Dixon. They just gashed the defense on that one, and they've got it down to the 23.
If I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his big tight end. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
It's not a great feeling on defense, too. When you're blitzing, you're expecting to get a sack. You're expecting to get a hit on the quarterback. If the offensive line and running backs pick it up, because now you have one less guy in the back end trying to cover all these receivers and tight ends, and you know you're in trouble.
They'll try the run. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Back to pass. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Illini! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. They took it 64 yards right down the field. And they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
And there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football, make your plays, put a good drive together here.
The Trojans with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. This time they'll go to the running game. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
Dropping back, it's Mayava. Snagged out of the air. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, and that was tough on the DB, right? He's trying to cover the receiver on a drag route, running back over the middle of the field. You're trying to avoid all the linebackers, all of the congestion. He just couldn't stay with them long enough, and as a result, fresh set of downs for the offense.
Give to the running back. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Gonna run it. It's Jordan. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up third and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that second down by this defense.
And the Trojans are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Got it behind the line. It's Jordan. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
The Trojans are moving quickly down the field. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
And the Trojans have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to pass, it's Mayava. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Southern Cal!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they finish the drive with a touchdown toss from the 49. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. Never seems to take the big hit, finds enough room to get to the 29.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. The Fighting Illini with options here on second and short. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. He gets it past the 30, and they'll get him out of bounds at the 32.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. They'll run it. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And the quickest way to blow up the run game is those interior big boys, those defensive tackles getting in the backfield really quickly and making that ball hurt.
Man, that D tackle was in the backfield in a hurry. The big man is nimble.
Nimble, fast, quick, athletic. That's just all words you describe defensive linemen with.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
Illinois now facing third and forever. Back to throw, it's Altmaier. Catch in the middle, it's Arkin. They make the tackle at the 33, and it is well short of the first down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. First play of the drive comes from the 38. They'll start this drive going to the air. Grab behind the line. It's Jordan. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Those screen plays, you really want to sell it, get it to your running back, and get him to the second level. Get him running full head of steam on a safety, on a linebacker. He almost got going, but just got tackled before he could really do any damage.
On the move, it's Jordan. Oh, he's got some space. Running inside the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Trojans.
And man, the defense really needed to stop there. They needed to create some momentum, get the ball back to the offense before the half. But the offense does their job, and they continue to pile on, continue to create momentum. There's going to have to be some questions answered at half with this squad because it's been a struggle in the first half.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. That drive took no time at all. A couple of plays and finished it with a long run for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside is 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
This is no surprise to defenses anymore. Everybody throws wide receiver screens, and you can tell they were ready for it. They saw the quick game. They pounced on it, got the wide receiver on the ground. That's not the first time they've seen that route.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. To the air, it's Altmaier. Pulls it in, it's Clement. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been taking in a magnificent scene there today in Champaign. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Memorial Stadium.
Kick off this 2nd half. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'll keep it on the ground to start the 2nd half. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the 2nd half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Looking to fire. That's caught. It's Lemon. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down mark.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
The Trojans come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short.
USC picks up 1. That's a 1st down for the offense.
And the Trojans will line it up on 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back looking for room.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical and they're trying to stay on the field.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. They'll finally make the tackle, but that option was executed to perfection. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Trojans have this offense rolling. Rides the back on the option to give. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this 2nd half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping the run. They got to play like this the rest of the game.
They've been running it, but now the pass. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. finds his big tight end. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. The Illinois offense returns to the field. The give to the back. Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Going with the ground game left. Oh, he was in the backfield immediately. A 3-yard loss.
Well, it's a negative play trying to run the football, and I think if you're on offense, you got to be thinking about throwing it now. You're trailing by a lot. You got to get back in this game. You need tempo, and you need explosive plays through the air.
The Fighting Illini needs to get it to the county line for a first down. Here's a heat. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And this defense just continues to dominate the football game. This score is lopsided. It's not looking good. But I know one thing. If you can't protect that guy, there's no chance for you to win this game or the future games.
Illinois lining up to punt this one away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Fair catch is called for in the midst of all this rain. Just concentrate on one thing, making the catch. On the ground, it's Jordan. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
He'll keep it himself. Nice move to pick up yardage. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding. Listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options. He's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
And the Trojans are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Looking for a man. It's Mayava. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
They punted away on 4th down. He'll make the fair catch at the 13, and they will have less than favorable field position here. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Handoff from the gun. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28.
This offense has to get this guy the ball in as many ways as possible. He showed you all of his tools on that last play.
Now on 1st down from the 28. Use the play fake, now to throw. Picked off, what a play to set him up.
What a nice play by the DB there. When that rain starts coming down, the ball gets a little bit heavier. The quarterback throws the ball a little bit lighter. DBs can take advantage sometimes of some underthrown balls, go out and make some big plays.
And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. They had to punt last time they had it. Highly unlikely that'll happen here, barring utter disaster. Breaks into the open. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, USC!
And he's in for his third rushing touchdown. You college fantasy football players, that is what you want to see. +6, +6, +6. Let's go.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point sails through, and they have a 35-7 lead. That's exactly what you want to do when you have that type of field position. Strike quickly, and they did. One play, and they put it on the board.
Number 45, set to kick it away.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Leaves it with the back. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
A lot of times on 2nd down, you're thinking pass, especially 2nd, maybe in a little bit long. Really good job by the offense, committing to the running game, getting the first down really easily.
Offense will try to strike on 1st and 10. They go to the draw. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Trying play action. Got it in the middle. It's Clement. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
To the air. It's Altmaier. Hauls it in. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And the slant is really a difficult route to defend against if you're a DB in man coverage, especially when you have no help on the inside. So if you're the offense and you continue seeing that coverage, you might as well keep attacking it just like that.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these 3rd downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on 2nd down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up 3rd and long, and now you're set up to fail.
Illinois now staring at a 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
That has got to be so demoralizing for the defense. You haven't been able to stop this guy all game long. And here on 3rd down, they're handing it off to him anyway because they don't think you can stop him. This defense right now, you see a lot of people hanging their heads a little bit because they're not playing with tons of confidence.
Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
The play action fake. He's got him this time. Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
Illinois coming back to the line with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Altmaier. Makes the grab. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Man, this guy's going to need some water when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? We've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
Illinois can be aggressive here on 2nd and short. Wants to throw again. Grab near the marker. It's Clement. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
Run the slant route day one. And this is something that the quarterback and the wide receiver has done 100 million times out there on the field in the offseason. I see man-to-man coverage. I know I can run the slant. Boom. Stick my foot in the ground, throw it, completion to my wide receiver.
Caught in the backfield, it's Dixon. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
It's so nice as a quarterback when you've got a guy like that working for you in the slot. He has such a good feel to find the open spaces in the defense. Just makes life so much easier for his quarterback.
Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Under fire. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Fighting Illini. Oh, the offense shows some life here and cuts into the lead with that score.
And, man, they needed it. They had to have something to go right. Listen, still down, but this is a great start to getting back in this ballgame.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is good. They still trail 35-14. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They'll leave it with him. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Gonna run it. It's Sanders. Got enough for the 1st, and he's still going. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wondered maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
2nd down.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Right back to it. Creates a little room. Picks up the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And this is an offense that really relies on its running game, on that second down call, giving it to the back, letting him find a way to go get a first.
The Trojans are rolling down the field. They'll run it from the gun. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
And the Trojans pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Brought down at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Trojans in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Toss sweep to the left. Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
And the Trojans come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. He'll sneak it.
It's not sexy. It's not pretty. It's actually kind of old school because people don't really run a lot of QB sneaks anymore. You don't even see quarterbacks under center that much. But what do? You keep your momentum going. You've already strung together a bunch of plays. Now is not the time to get super aggressive. Way to go, high percentage, run the quarterback sneak, get the first down.
The Trojans getting set on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Mayava. Unleashes one deep. Touchdown, Trojans! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board. He has been surgical. Precision passes, using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for it. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
Lining up to add another.
The kicker is on for the extra point.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They march 79 yards on the drive, and they cap things off with a scoring toss from 27 yards out. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. To the air on first down. Got a man. It's Clement. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. They had a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative. Whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
Find my guys quickly. Know my matchups, get them the football, let them do the rest. So many playmakers now in football. I'm trying to get it to him as fast as possible so he can do that. Right after the catch, make guys miss, make beautiful plays.
Here's the handoff. Past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
A huge gain. Probably would have loved to say this earlier in the game. Probably would have loved to have some of these runs and had a little bit more success running the football earlier. Now, I might think about maybe cranking the tempo and probably, if I'm going to need these runs, I'm going to need to go ahead and score on these runs, or I'm going to need to start chucking the football.
To the ground. He's got it again. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Second down.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
He just got rid of that one to save the down. Didn't see anything he liked.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes, bring the speed on the field, and get ready to play the pass.
Illinois now facing 3rd and forever. Back to throw, it's Altmaier. He'll loft one deep down the left side. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the 4th quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete, and the defense stands tall and gets off the field. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he'll get behind those pads and deliver the blow and get it down to the 44.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him. He'd have to shoulder the load, and he has delivered for his offense all game long.
Makes one man miss. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
And the Trojans can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Not much room, a pickup of 2 down to the 28. The Trojans come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. He'll do it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
I just love it when my quarterback knows situational football. They run the option. He understands. It's 4th and short. Like, I got to stick my nose in there, get north-south, and try to get that first down. I love when I have a quarterback that can do that.
And the Trojans have their offense in high gear. Power football with the run. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying to surprise him with the pass. Trying to make magic with his feet. He got enough for the first down before sliding, but there is a marker on the field. It might be coming back.
Hold on.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. The give on the option. The stop, the start, the juke, everything in the bag as he gets to the 29.
A lot of times it's hard to see those linebackers coming down late, blitzing through a gap. The offense did a really nice job getting a hat on a hat, blocking up front so the running back can get some positive yards.
7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking for a man. It's Mayava. Just a short pass to the tight end. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. They didn't quite get that route run deep enough to pick up the first down. Now they've got a 4th and short.
And I think everybody at home tends to yell at their television set, why aren't you getting past the first down marker? Why did you run your route short? Defense did a good job knowing where that was, but now, 4th down, offense has to make a decision.
It's good. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
Here's the return from inside his 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Illinois offense returns to the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Grabbed over the middle. It's Arkin. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They go to the ground. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
One of the things you love about this running back is his physicality. He's got great size, and because of that, he can wear defenses down. Those 2, 3, and 4-yard gains in the 1st and 2nd quarter, they become big gains late. Guys don't want to tackle him, and you're seeing that now.
Illinois picked up the first down. Now here they come again. Running to Green. There he goes.
And maybe the big fella can jumpstart this offense a little bit. They got to get some points, and he's that big physical guy, breaking some tackles, making some plays. Here in the 4th quarter, they're going to need it.
The Fighting Illini with options here on 2nd and short. Wide receiver going in motion. To throw, it's Altmaier. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
And this defense has done such a great job. Another sack on the day. They forced an interception. They've been flying all over the field playing great defense.
Now 3rd and long and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. Here's the pressure. They got him for the sack, and they'll get the ball back after the 4th down stop.
He had nowhere to go with the football. 4th down, you know he wants to make a play. I'd like for him to throw it up, to be honest. Try to give somebody an opportunity to make a play. Who cares if I throw a pick? It's 4th down anyways, but couldn't find anybody to get the ball off. Defense surrounds him, gets him to the ground with the sack.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Looking left. Complete downfield. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. And even in the 4th quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive, pedal to the metal.
The Trojans look to do some damage in the red zone. They'll go to the ground. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
And after having a nice gain like that on 1st down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and taking a shot. Because even if it's incomplete on 2nd down, on 3rd, you won't have that long to go.
2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Quick handoff. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak.
Man, let's not make football hard. The quarterback sneak has worked, and it continues to work. Keep using it until they stop it on those short yardage plays.
And the Trojans are on the move. They'll send the tight end in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense.
And the defense, man, playing aggressive, playing uphill, playing in the backfield. Nice job getting penetration, getting that pass before it really even gets started. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Nice job by the defense.
Thanks to grab. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
Nice job by the defense, forcing the 3rd and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
They'd really rather not have to settle for 3. It's 3rd and goal from the 6. Wants to throw. It's Mayava. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Cal. Quick strike through the air for the score. My goodness, he is putting on a laser show right now. Leinart, Palmer, Pat Hayden, Marinovich, you name it. These guys are going to be looking up at this dude.
Just spinning the bean all over the yard, and that's why you come to USC. Those names you mentioned, and you know that ball's going to be in your hands. You get to go make plays, and he is doing exactly that.
On to attempt the try.
Kicker on for the extra point.
And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. So they covered 42 yards on the drive, and they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside the 10, here he comes. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. Good, solid pickup on that play.
QBs and wide receivers spend all offseason together throwing the football in air. I mean, really developing that chemistry and timing. Understanding, I get man coverage, I'm throwing this to you right now.
They're going to test the right side with this one. At the 45, on his way. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field, what a big gain for the offense.
Off the play fake on first down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Arkin. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Kind of like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
And now on second down for this offense. Tight end now in motion. Off play action. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
Looking to pass. It's Altmaier. Gets it to him on the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
And listen, that's not a surprise. Obviously, they want to throw the football on third down to try to get a first down, but it got absolutely nowhere. Great job by the defense, rallying up and actually getting a tackle for a loss.
Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. He'll try to really get into this one. Probably hope for a little bit more on that one. It'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. The give and tick, 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 tick. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Fires to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
And they got the completion, but still looking at a third down. Off the play fake. He lobs one high down the left side. Catch inside the 30 and still running. This defense giving up ground as he's finally knocked down at the 26. They are in no mood to show any mercy as they keep flexing their muscle on offense.
Up big in the fourth quarter, and you just keep taking shots down the field. That tells you something, okay? You can take what you want from it, but this offense definitely not interested in running clock, interested in making a point.
The Trojans will snap it on 1st and 10. The option look. This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
From the gun, the ground game. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion, and they earned a big dub today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.